We've all experienced times when things didn't work out the way we planned. When it happens over and over again, we begin to doubt ourselves and even God. It seems like our world is upside down, and it's hard to know what is right and what isn't. These last few years, especially, have been that way, haven't they? Today, I will dig into this topic and explore our need for clarity when things don't work out the way we think they should. I hope you'll join me. Welcome to Longing for More, where Christians come to strengthen their faith, revive their soul, and learn to live their lives with a sense of fulfillment and peace. Listen each week to learn how to incorporate your faith into your daily activities, stop wandering through life feeling empty and unfulfilled, and begin to live your more. Let's get started. Recently, I shared a couple of emails relevant to this topic of clarity with my subscribers. In the first, I told about when I retired from my career in housing and ended up throwing away list after list of really great ideas. They all went in the dumpster because, I didn't need them anymore. At the time, I felt like I had missed many opportunities where I could have done better and made even a more significant impact on the people we served. In the email, I lamented how I wished I had the skills I've since learned to have organized my time better, because I now realize that many of the things that kept me away from those lists were distractions that I could have avoided. But I can't change what I didn't know, and I can't go back and do it all over again. I can, however, help others from making those same mistakes, and I love doing that in my coaching and my masterminds. In the second email, I took the concept a step farther and I looked at that situation differently. I talked about how those things that look like distractions, that take us away from our goals, may be God's doing. When I think about it that way, I realize that some of those great ideas may have been before their time. Or maybe, though they were effective in the places where they were implemented, they wouldn't have been effective in my state. The bottom line is, it does me no good to second guess what might have been. After the fact, it's a waste of time to fret over something like that. Besides, if it had been necessary for me to do, I believe that God would have found a way to clear my calendar, or He would have shown me how to make it a priority. In hindsight, I wish I had realized that I was carrying a weight that God would have gladly helped me had I simply asked. But that's what we do. We carry the burden of life on our own. We take pride in being independent, and we avoid asking for help for fear that it will make us look weak. Never mind that God created us for community and wants us to work together for His good. Forget about the fact that seeking help builds relationships and trust with others. We are reminded in Jeremiah 29:11 that God has a plan for us all. The plans He has made for us are good and not for disaster. He knows the future He has planned for us, and He will lead us to fulfill His mission for our lives if we seek Him and His guidance. He wants us to have hope, and He wants us to remember that He will see us through any hardship that may come our way. We need to look to Him with our whole heart and trust that He has our back. God created the world so that people will love and serve one another. I love the concept that if we all use our talents and skills that we've been given and we follow God's leading, everyone's needs will be taken care of. Isn't it beautiful to imagine God orchestrating all of these seemingly unrelated events to make sure that we are all at the right place at the right time so that we can all fulfill our mission and get what we need? When you think about it, it's no wonder we drive ourselves crazy trying to make things happen that were never part of God's plan, or at the very least, not at the current time. Recently, I did a 21-day devotional called Do You Believe I Am God or Not? By Carolyn Shear. It was a great way to focus on God's promises, and it got me thinking about why I am putting so much effort into some things that if God wanted them to happen, He'd have made sure they'd happened. It made me stop and think about the attitude of, if it's going to be, it's up to me, that I'd been carrying around. Though I'd been praying for clarity, I wasn't prepared for the answers God gave me. Lately, I've had some things come up in my life that are not consistent with the goals I'd set for this year. Yep, I've already been thrown off my script. My plans are out the window, basically, so far anyway. But because I'm spending time in Scripture and praying about it, I realize that those things that have taken me off track are exactly what I should be focusing on right now. The peace that comes from knowing that I can let the pressure to perform go and not just accept, but truly embrace the, quote, distraction has been so freeing. If you too have been frustrated that your life isn't going the way you planned lately, I encourage you to stop and take a look around. Find the lessons and maybe even the blessings in the opportunities God is giving you to serve the people He is bringing into your life right now. They may look and feel like distractions, but if you know that God's plans are bigger and better than yours, you'll realize that you are exactly where you need to be in this moment. I love the words God helped me author on this topic for my book, A Different View. It says, "Did God really say a life of faith will be easy and pain-free? Nope, He didn't. In fact, it's a fallacy of our society to believe that lie. Nowhere does God promise us that He will remove all roadblocks from our path when we believe in Him. Instead, He promises to give us the strength to endure the challenges we encounter. The clarity we long for isn't to know every detail of our path. It is to be clear that we can trust God wherever that path leads us." Where do you seek clarity in this stage of your life? If things aren't going the way you thought they would, does this help you realize that you may be looking at it all wrong? Can you look at the situation from a biblical perspective and trust that God will carry you through whatever challenge or distraction that currently has you doubting your path? He will, you know. You just need to ask Him. I pray this message blesses you, and that if you know someone who needs to hear it, that you will share it with them. If you'd like to receive the Live Your More newsletter that I referenced earlier so that you can get periodic messages in your inbox, I'd love to have you join us there. Just go to vannajohnson.com and click on the box that says accept the newsletter, or click the link in the show notes so that you can get on that. I just want to thank you for stopping by today. I know that your time is valuable, and I appreciate your spending a part of your day with me. Until next time, when we talk about the cry for authenticity, I pray that you will go, be blessed, and remember to always, always live your more.